Polygyny doesn't get its fair airplay, and if it gets any airplay at all, it's typically negative. We get some really angry and triggered people in the comments. We understand everybody's not there yet. They have different stories. They have different traumatic experiences. They're dealing with some evil men and women. We know that there's predators out there. There's men that like to collect women and drop one this one, pick one up the next, like, they're picking out shoes. And that's not what we're about, but we do address it.
Warning, viewer discretion is advised. The content, views, and educational material you are about to experience could challenge your belief, trigger strong emotions, and frankly, piss you off. This isn't for everyone. If you're not ready to confront new ideas, or if your feelings bruise easily, this might be the time to click away. Expect to be challenged, to think, and you might even want to scream at the screen. Proceed with caution, and remember, you chose to be here. Let's get it.
I did a video, how many years ago? I'd say maybe 5 years ago, went viral. Polygyny, Why I Stayed. And I like to complete that sentence because it is why I stayed with my good man. And oftentimes, polygyny doesn't get its fair airplay, and if it gets any airplay at all, it's typically negative. We get some really angry and triggered people in the comments. We understand everybody's not there yet. They have different stories. They have different traumatic experiences. They're dealing with some evil men and women. We know that there's predators out there. There's men that like to collect women and drop one this one, pick one up the next, like, they're picking out shoes. And that's not what we're about, but we do address it. So we're going to go a little bit deeper into what are some of the effects that divorce can cause. What are some of the experiences that our children might be having, or how that is affecting the family or the legacy. I'm a wife, so although I have ideas and I support legacy, I'm not the primary builder of that. I'm not going, this is the legacy that I've dreamt of. Now, Coach Nazir and everybody else get up behind me and get to this work. And this is what we're going to do because I am the leader. I'm not the leader. Coach Nazir is the leader. I am a leader in our family, though, just like Coach Nyla is, but I'm not the leader. There's such a big difference. That doesn't mean I don't have a say. That doesn't mean that I can't offer support or ideas. It doesn't mean that. It just means that I don't have the scope or the responsibility, nor do I want it, of leading an entire family. My life is much different than Coach Nazir's, although we have the same values and the same pillars that we observe in Islam. We pray a certain way, we fast, we do different things as Muslims in general that are practicing Muslims. Let me just be clear on that, because everybody that's Muslim is not practicing. Everybody that's on here is not Muslim. So I want to make that distinction because people move in different ways. So two things: women are not men and men are not women. And wives don't move like husbands do. We don't. So I'm a wife that's married to a man that's in polygyny, which is much different than a man who is the husband, who is married to two women or more, up to 4 in Islam. Everybody doesn't know. Everybody doesn't know. I want to say everybody knows. Yeah, of course. No, I'm a wife in polygyny. I'm not married to a wife. I'm married to a husband because that's what I wanted to do. So he's not going to show up as me ever. So I don't have an expectation that he would. So the why I stayed, we're going to get Coach Nazir's perspective on things, which is very important because I want to attach myself or be married to someone that has a vision, that has goals, that has a strong relationship with his Lord, with Allah. That means God, you all that may not know, because everybody just doesn't know. Those were the checks, the boxes I had to check off. So I'm married to a man that's married to me, and neither one of us expect perfection out of the other. We're people.
You're already on our channel and you see how we are empowering people when it comes to polygamy education. You may be wondering, what's the next step? Especially knowing that we are the authors of the book,
Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored. If you want to get off the emotional roller coaster, whether it's jealousy, insecurity, frustration, anger, maybe even guilt in some cases, you're going to want to pick up this book.
Definitely wish I would have had this book back a while ago when we first embarked on polygyny. And you will learn a lot of things about minding your marriage and what that actually means. So you're not comparing your marriage to your co-wives or anybody else's for that matter.
If you've heard, I'm not against polygamy, I just against when it's not done right, you want to learn how to do it right, this will teach you how to be more than twice the man you need to be to get it done. Let's talk polygamy.com. We look forward to shipping yours off to you.
All right, back to the subject at hand. I did the video because I got really inundated with a lot of questions, and women specifically, especially initial wives, wondering why in the world I would stay after my husband decided he was going to practice polygyny. And I went there to the point that this video blew up. When I was recording the video, I had no idea. I really didn't. I said, I'm going to say what it was. This is what it is. And I'm getting up off of here. If it helps people, that is what matters to me. Now, those that are going to be upset or hate in some cases, remember, your haters are always your greatest marketing team, because they're always going to talk about you. They're always going to have something to say. They're always going to have something negative to add. The people that are mature, and maybe they are going through it themselves, but the people are mature, don't come over to us and like dump that on us and go, well, it's y'all, if it wasn't for you all, a lot of the problems you have, we're already there. So maybe we highlighted some things like we like to do because there's a solution over here. And we can't offer solution if we refuse to acknowledge the truth. If we embrace delusion or this illusion that our spouses are perfect and we're perfect and we want to keep up this persona or this charade, it'll all catch up to us in the end. So, for example, wives tend to have these dreams in their head that this is what I want my family to look like. And let my husband, whoever he may be, he needs to come over here and get on board with that. Other than that, I don't want it. I don't want him, even if he's a good man. You're not perfect. You don't fit into this box that I've created. So when I did the video, some people loved it. The vast majority of people that did watch it liked it. But then it was met with some resistance. That's fine. You don't have to listen to me at all. You don't have to. I get that. However, you also don't have to get some really, really, really good gems on what it looks like or what it may feel like or what kind of disaster you could be creating if you don't just stop, take a beat, look inward and do the work you need to do on you and not just look at everything else around you and say, all of this needs to be fixed. I won't do any work. Just everybody else should. So because I was in that video saying, look, this is what it was for me. This is what it might look like for you. Maybe you had the dream that you wanted your husband to live in, and it didn't work out that way because people evolve, they change. So the husband I married is not the husband I'm married to today. He was never going to be. He was never going to just stay that way, that age, and in whatever mindset he was in at the time, and not turn into a man that wanted to practice polygyny. I was never promised that. I was never promised it. And I love that because that's all, it was all written. It was going to happen anyway. He was always going to have more than one wife.